Hi, I'm Katharine Zarrella, and we're live at New York Fashion Week, where Eckhaus Latta just showed their Spring Summer 20 collection. Eckhaus Latta is designed by Mike Eckhaus and Zoe Latta, and since launching in 2013, it's become known as something of an art brand, and it's kind of existed on the fringe of the mainstream fashion industry. In 2018, though, they were shortlisted for the LVMH Fashion Prize, and I think that since that point, the clothing has become noticeably more wearable, and this collection was definitely their most wearable to date. It opened up with a baby doll dress that had little ruffled eyelet elements and graphic black lines. It was done in cream and baby blue, and it was one of the most feminine pieces I think I've seen them do. It was, a kind of, pared down take on sweetness. And then there were really strong knit pieces throughout the collection, and they always have really great knits. But this season there was a very thin knit trouser with a bell bottom that was slightly ruffled, and they were striped, and they were paired with a contrasting striped top. And there were two kind of nude or beige knit dresses that were somewhat sheer, but I think they could be worn in a lot of different contexts by a lot of different people, and they moved really beautifully down the runway. Platform clogs, things that I think very few people can make work. They made work really well. It was a collaboration with UGG, and they were a little bit retro, but they really complemented the kind of offbeat aesthetic of the collection. There were sequins. I don't think that I ever thought that I would see sequins in an Eckhaus Latta collection, but there were a handful of sequin looks, and I really enjoyed there was like a bright blue kind of mid-length dress that, it was like a high kind of scoop neck, and then it dipped in the back. And it was kind of glamorous. I think it was the most glamorous thing I've ever seen them done. I mean, sequins are usually like a little glamorous, but I think that for me personally, my favorite part of the collection was the tailoring, and they've been experimenting with tailoring for a couple of seasons now, and it's gotten better and better. And the tailoring this season, there were these suits, and they had flat fronts, but then also pleats, and there were these great big wide legs and cuffs, and these big oversized jackets. And there was one in kind of like a light black or a deep charcoal, and there was another that was done in white, and they were just so cool and effortless and easeful. And I think that a lot of men and women, because there were both men and women on the runway, and men and women were shown in these suits. I think a lot of men and women would like to look like that. Also denim, which is something that retailers always love. They've been doing denim for a bit now, and the denim this season, it was this very thick, dark denim, and there was one look where it was a denim skinny jean that was beautifully cut with a high waist, and it was paired with what they called a cowboy corset, and it was obviously a fitted corset that came kind of like just above kind of just hit the waist, and with straps that kind of were about the width of the straps on my dress. And I think that those pieces were again very cool and like a little bit sexy, which we don't usually like get sexy from Eckhaus, but it was kind of a sexy look. And I think that it's going to have a lot of kind of mainstream appeal. And if you've been watching New York Fashion Week is mainstream and it is commercial, and a lot of times I think that the mainstream commercial element of it all can make it all blend into a mush of sameness, which, like, I'm sorry, but that happened this season for sure. But Eckhaus is not in that mush of sameness. They're able to do something, that's still approachable, but that stands out and still feels like it was touched by hand, and still has this homespun authenticity to it. And I think that's important. And I think maybe after this collection, which, by the way, was held in Brooklyn, and they often show in Brooklyn, and I think it's a testament to how much, the fashion industry loves them, that they go to Brooklyn, 30 minutes away from where most of the shows are held every season, to go and see the Eckhaus show. But I think that, some people might question, like, oh, are they going to mainstream or to commercial? And, this brand is carried by 60 retailers worldwide, and it's great to be an art brand and to do something as an experiment, but at the end of the day, these clothes have to sell, and I think they're doing it in a way that's authentic to their approach and their aesthetic, and still making garments that can be worn in real world situations and can appeal to a broad customer base. So I liked this Eckhaus collection a lot. I thought that it was a really great, it was proof that they can compete in the market while still staying true to themselves. And I think that we need more of that in New York. Thank you for watching.